Hello, this is Tracy with TotallyTraced. I am here live with my monthly free card class. I hope I'm going to have a lot of you join me. I do this every month. It's one of my favorite classes to do because it's really about who I am. So I call myself TotallyTraced because I really believe that anybody can craft, and where you start is tracing other people's ideas, or casing it, as a lot of people call it. And even if you are not new to this, even if you are an expert, you've been doing this for years, we all still trace or copy other people's ideas. In fact, my template today is coming from Sue's Paper Creations. She made a Christmas card using this template, and I absolutely loved it, and I'm going to make 4 completely different cards. So I do this class every month. It's always the first Wednesday of the month. And I share a template to everybody on my email list. So if you're not part of that, please join. It's down in the comments section, and I send you the measurements. And then I also pin it onto my Facebook page so you can find it there. So today's measurements, you're going to need a typical card base. I think I'm using all white today, but any neutral color will work. Or who knows, try a colored one, make it your own. So it's going to be 5.5 by 8.5, and then you're going to score it at 4 1/4. You'll need 3 pieces of DSP, designer series paper, scrapbooking paper. And this is a great card for scraps. So if you have 3 coordinating scraps, grab those because it'll be perfect, because they only need to be 1 1/4 by 4. And then you'll need a piece of colored cardstock, 1/4 inch. That is not a typo or handwritten mistake there. It's only 1/4 inch by 4 1/4. And then your favorite bundle. And so I see a lot of you popping in. And then of course we do have a new catalog out. So my first card is not going to be a new catalog, but everything else will be. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi, Linda. Glad you can make it. The first one, I'm hoping a lot of you have this paper so you can copy this one exactly. The first one, I am using the True Blue Floral paper. This was the product of the month last month, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think you can get it anymore. I think it truly was only for December, but maybe it's until they sell out. I'm not exactly sure. So if you know the answer, please tell me that in the comments and I can share accurate information. But I hope you got it. So Stampin' Up is doing a product of the month every month, where if you spend $75, you get whatever the product is for $5. And I didn't pull out this designer series paper, but it was amazing. And I hope every month the products are this good. I know I've already ordered this month's, which is a sentiment saying, but here are some of the cards I've made with this paper. If you follow me, you know I just really love pretty paper because I feel like you can make any card look good. And you'll also see I used a lot of the Petals of Beauty and Words of Beauty. That's another suite I'm loving right now. So I'm using this paper again today, and I'm just using my scraps that I have left over. All right, so let me show you what I've got. So I've got my card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I chose 3 pieces of DSP. They're each 1 1/4 by 4. And then here's that colored cardstock, 1/4 inch by 4 1/4. And so here's the layout. It's going to be super easy. Again, every month when I do this, I make it a template that you could use anything you have and it's going to work. Actually, I think I want to switch these. Let's see. I don't like these two together. That's what I'm trying to separate here. Okay, yeah, I think I like it that way. And then this is just going to go here. So that's your template. And then of course you can add whatever you want to it. So I'm going to get this glued down. Oh, Linda's saying that you can still get it. You know, it was funny. I saw it when I placed my order. Promise new product. Again, the next 3 cards are going to be the exact same template, but I'm going to use all new things. Hi there, Renee. I'm trying to look at comments and pick up paper at the same time. It's not working very well for me. Oh, see, look how pretty that paper. I think this one's actually my favorite, the back of what I'm putting glue on right now. All right, and then you're gonna do your best to line them up. And I didn't do my normal trick, and you can tell. But again, it's homemade, so it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. But usually I put the end pieces on first, and that way I can just kind of slide this one to make it look even. All right, and then this little piece, I'm gonna glue down. Oh, my glue might be done. Let's try this one. All right. Okay, and you just want that to go straight across. And again, this is where you get to add things. I said bring your favorite bundle. I'm gonna go real simple on this one. So I pulled out a stamp set. Okay, I wanted to make sure I had the right one. So I pulled out Lovely Arrangements. So this is a brand new stamp set. Here's what it looks like. I chose it, first of all, because the suite has pretty paper, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But I love these sentiments. In fact, I'm going to use sending, I'm going to say sending smiles. I think I had that earmarked for the card that's coming up, but I just love that sentiment because I think it's perfect for anything. And then I always love the long skinny ones because those lay over perfectly on flowers. So when I saw this one, I knew I was going to get it. And I know it looks like I haven't used this one at all, but I just haven't used it with red ink. I've been using it with mostly blues and greens, so I just haven't stained it yet. All right, and this paper uses Night of Navy and Balmy Blue, so I'm going to use Night of Navy. Okay, so here's the scariest part of this. I think on all of them, stamping directly onto the card. But I'm feeling much more confident now that Stampin' Up! Is only using these clear stamp sets. I'm going to say that and watch is going to be completely crooked. Not too bad. All right, so you can see, super basic. That's our layout. And of course, the next few ones, I'll jazz each up a little bit differently. But look how super easy, simple, and fast that is. So that's our first one. All right, now, peeks at new stuff. All right, so who has already ordered out of the new catalog, and what have you ordered? All right. So my next card. All right, I'm using I think it's Made with Love Suite. I keep going back and forth between Endless Love and Made with Love. So one is the bundle, one of them is the name of the suite. But I absolutely love it. I'm going to show you some projects that I have. So here's the paper that goes with it. It comes in 12 by 12s. And so when I first got this, I needed Valentine's, so I knew I was going to get it no matter what. But I was worried. Oh, hi, Anne. She says, hello from Sweden. When I first got this, I thought, I don't know if I'm going to like it. It's so hard to beat last year. So if you know Stampin' Up's last year, they had that marbled pinks and reds and golds, and it was such beautiful paper. And I thought, there's no way they're going to be able to top it. And when I first saw this, I thought, yeah, they didn't top it, but I knew they wouldn't be able to. And actually, I'm liking this one even better. And I didn't think I would ever say it. And I think the reason is is because each paper is so different and they mix and match so well. Whereas last year, if you'll remember, they all looked very similar. Linda did Woolly Friends and Boardwalk. Oh, I didn't know Stampin' Up's not available in Sweden. I'm so sorry. That's all right. You can still steal these ideas. Just use whatever papers you do have. All right, so Linda, you got the Woolly Friends. That's not my style. And again, I see what everybody's doing and they're so stinking cute. And then when I see people make baby cards, which is always my challenge, I thought, oh, maybe I should have gotten it. Or Easter cards with it. It is a really cute one. All right, so what I'm saying about this paper is, look, it can lay like that. I mean, we could, well, we wouldn't want the hearts upside down, but you could do it. Oh, and those are sideways. You could do it however you want. Any of these papers are going to coordinate. And this is also all about what I found playing with this is reds, pinks, they all mix and match and it doesn't matter. In fact, let me show you some of the projects. So you might have seen these because this is part of the Endless Love class that I have going right now, and the link for that is in the comments. I will be demonstrating these cards next week, showing you how to make them, and then I have a kit available so that you can make them too. Linda says, oh, you've ordered everything except for those two. That's hilarious. I thought I ordered a lot. So, and then the shaker card. And that one. And then, of course, I've made some other ones that aren't part of that kit, but just to show you the paper and everything that this does. Here's a real plain and simple one. I'm sure you guys have seen my shaker box. That was a free tutorial for everybody on my email list. And then I just made these. Look how cute that is. So this comes from the Dollar Tree. It comes in a bag of them, and I thought the colors just match this paper perfectly. And it has a little tag in it. So I just made a little Valentine for people. All right, but back to this card. All right, so I've got the paper. So again, we're going to go back to our layout, which is just like that. And then this has these dies. So you've got the different hearts. Different than last year is that they can layer, obviously, but they're not nesting, if that makes sense. But I've loved playing with the arrows. All the X's and O's are so cute. There's just lots of details, like these hearts that punch out. And then this one looks like this. So it makes this cute little tag. Okay, so I don't remember exactly what I was going to do with this. Oh, when you punch out the XO, look, a little heart punches out. Hi, Vicky. So yes, I'm obsessed with this set. Which again, I wasn't sure I was going to be. Sorry, I've got glue all over my hands, so that's not wanting to stick. See, even just like that is so simple, yet so cute. All right, and then I am going to do, so the stamps they have, you can build Happy Valentine's Day, sending you love. What did I make recently? Oh, love today and always, sending you hugs and kisses. So you can definitely mix and match. I'm going to stamp this directly on the card again. How about hugs and kisses? I was sent a thank you card by someone on my team last week, and it had something like hugs and kisses or with love, but it was a thank you card. And I thought, oh gosh, I keep pulling that same glue that has nothing in it. And I thought, oh, I never would have thought of that, to send that as a thank you card, and it was perfect. So that's going to be my challenge, is I'm going to put hugs and kisses on here, but I'm going to make it a thank you card for somebody. Oh, and I got a little bit of glue there. I'm not sure why I've got glue all over the place today. All right, so again, look, I just put another one there. I'm gonna have to pull out some gems for this one. I'm gonna do the end pieces first because that will help me make sure everything's more centered. So I'm just gonna try and line it up to that first one and get about the same amount of space at each end and at the top and bottom. And then that way this one I can kind of lay anywhere in the middle and it'll look fine. Hi, Carrie. All right, Carrie, what have you ordered from the new catalog or from the online exclusives? You know what I think the problem is how about I put this down? This might be, using these thin strips, I might need my little glue mats. I was reading a post the other day and someone was new to card making and they were asking what they should buy, and people were saying, oh, you definitely need like the scoreboard and the silicone mat. And I thought, oh my gosh, I still don't have a scoreboard, and I didn't buy the silicone mat until I had been stamping for years. I wanted the paper and the inks. All right, let's go Real Red. But I get it. Once you start on this hobby, you want everything. All right, so last time I left it just like that with the sentiment. This time I am going to go ahead and add this cute heart. And of course, like I said, it could be listed as a tag. So you could add the, let's put the X first. You could add some ribbon to it. Okay, and then I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back. And then I've got a weird glue spot there, so I'm definitely going to cover that one. All right. And then I've got a weird glue spot over there too. So we're going to cover that with the loose Valentines. Oh, good. I do have those out. You can see I've used a lot of my loose Valentines. And so the loose Valentines come with the, I'm guessing it's pretty in pink, white. Then there's some red lips, some envelopes. And what I did is, this one, I just punched out a bunch of those and I threw them in here too. And you can't, they're not foam or dimensional like the others, but you can't even tell. All right, so Linda's saying that her favorite is Valentine Kisses. Oh, is that the one with the bear? See, same thing. That cutesy stuff is not for me. And then I see people do it. Okay, I'm looking for my glue spot. It's right there. So we'll see if this guy will stick there on his own. Oh, see, it's so cute. And then we'll put another one down here. And then how about one of my red ones? Or I could put the lips there. I've saved the lips for the shaker things. Oh, and I think I was saying I was using Real Red, but now that I see Real Red up against it, I was using Poppy Parade. Poppy Parade is definitely underrated in my crafting. I just always forget about it, and I always think of it as an orange until I actually use it, and then it looks red. I think I want that a little bit straighter. All right, so there is card number 2. So again, your 3 papers, you want some sort of focal point and then a sentiment. Of course, if you're gonna make yours different, feel free. This is your card. And then don't forget, tomorrow I'll create a post, or maybe tonight. We'll see how. I've been back to school after 2 weeks off for only 2 days. I'm exhausted. I forget how exhausting kids can be. So if I'm up for it after this, I'll post it tonight. But I make a post that has the pictures of these cards. And then in the comments, I want you to put your cards, because it's so much fun to see all the different varieties we can make. All right. Okay, let's get this all cleaned up so I don't lose any of it. And we'll move on. So there's our first two. We'll move on to the next one. All right, this, we're going to be using Lovely Arrangements. So you saw me use the sentiment already. So that's the bundle. And then here's the paper. So look at that Secret C. Love Secret C. So this one only has, it's 12 by 12 paper, but there's only 4 different sheets, and you get 3 of each. So, and they all, and then one of them looks like this, and there's some smaller ones. I've already cut it in half. And then the backs. And it just coordinates so nicely. I've played a little bit with it, but I'll really start digging into that one this weekend. All right, so same thing. I've got a white card base, 5.5 by 8.5. You're going to score it at 4 1/4, because hopefully all of you that are watching me right now are making this. So Heather, I'm hoping you're making some cards. You need 3 pieces of designer series paper at 1 1/4 by 4, and they just need to coordinate. And then colored cardstock, so I'm using Secret C, 1/4 inch by 4 1/4 inch, and then your favorite bundle. So again, I'm using the Lovely Arrangements for this one. All right. And then if you're loving these cards, this is part of the Trace Treasures, that if you place a $40 order in my online store, you automatically get this kit. So just like you've been seeing me, you'll get the 4 envelopes, and all the supplies will be in there except for stamped images. I'm not allowed to send those to you. All right, so there's my layout. So I'm just going to show you this stamp set. Again, so mostly sentiments, and then it just has these 2 beautiful flowers and that stem. So what I did is I stamped them in Secret C. I rearranged my craft room, and I've moved my blocks, and I like how my table looks better, but they're a little bit harder to reach, so I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with it or not. I feel like my table has a lot more room. All right, so this is this big flower. I'm just going to stamp that. And then the stem. Just like that, so pretty. And then the dies, so those 3 stamps, you have a die for each one. And then you also have some texture and background ones. You've got this, 2 that coordinate with the sentiments, and then you've got these detailed flowers. So, and this one's really easy to line up, because sometimes I have a hard time with that one. This one, you just kind of turn it until it matches up. And then that, of course, will line up quickly. And then if you don't know this secret, there's a little hole right here. You want to make sure that you can see your stamp through that. So you get your leaves set, and then you just kind of move there. And I don't know if you can see it on camera, but all of a sudden that blue, the Secret C, just popped right through. So that'll help you get a straighter cut. So I've already die cut those out. And then I use both of these leaves here in petal pink. So I've also die cut those. All right, so I'm just gonna start laying things on because I don't know how I want this, so I've glued nothing down yet. So the last ones we left pretty plain, and you can see how by just adding more to that focal point, it really pops. So let's do a sentiment here, and I want to use one of these thin ones. So I've got happy birthday, just a note, you are so lovely, and thank you. I haven't used this one yet. Look how thin this is. So I'm wondering if, I'm guessing just a note's got to fit in there. You are so lovely. I don't know, it looks so thin. Let's try it. Let's do you are so lovely. Who would you send something like that to? Again, could be a thank you card. How about a Mother's Day card? This is definitely where I need your help because I'm really good at making cards, or at least I love making them. You can have your opinion on if you think I'm good or not. But I'm not as good about sending them. Oh, look, it does look like that's gonna fit right in there. Okay, I'm gonna run this through. We'll see how it looks. And then I did run sending smiles through a bigger one. But I'll show you why I like these thin ones so much. Because when you do these thin ones, see how you can just like put it anywhere and it's not necessarily covering up too much. So I did sending smiles. And this is the other label die cut in there. Actually, I kind of like that up there. What do you think? I think I really do like it up there. All right, I'm gonna get everything else glued down. If you are really opposed to this or wanna see me do something else, let me go ahead and put it in the comments. See if you can sway me. So again, I'm gonna do my end pieces first. Playing with this right now makes me so excited for the weekend because this is my plan on Saturday, is to really dig into this bundle or this suite. And the suite itself comes with cloud cover ribbon. Oh, and it comes with the beautiful gems. I'll have to see if I can, like if they're in the front of my gem stash or not, because they are amazing. Middle piece. Okay, and then what did I do? Oh, I did put my silicone mat away. All right. I haven't heard from anybody, so as of right now, that's going to go there. And then we'll pop this up. And then I might pop that one up too. And then this one we'll just glue. glue this one down as well. So yeah, this, the stamps on this are very simple, but I don't know, I love it. All right, still nothing from anybody about this? Okay, I'm popping it up. I probably should use one on each side. I probably should have used minis for this one. All right, there is the next one. Again, I hope that you will post your versions because I'm showing you very basic. I've gotten feedback that sometimes when I go overboard, then you feel like you can't necessarily copy it. So I can't wait to see how you go overboard with it. Oh, and that doesn't go with it. So these are the gems. So you've got the Secret Sea. That almost looks like Granny Apple Green, but I thought the paper had more of an old olive. And then the cloud cover, and then there's a white in there. Yeah, very pretty. All right, so 3 cards down using that same template. I'll put the measurements back in there for you while I clean up here. So my last card is going to use the washi tape. Did you know that we have washi tape again? I mean, there's still that floral one, but there's a new one. I have used washi tape several times and I don't know, I've just never really gotten it. I'm not very good at using it. Somebody on my team loves washi tape and uses it all the time, and I had her show me some of her samples and they looked amazing. I tried it myself, not so much. And so when that floral washi tape came out, and I'm sure I'm saying the wrong name because I don't remember the name of it, I thought, okay, I'll get it. I'll try again. And there's something about having coordinating dies and coordinating stamps that are just amazing with it. So my last card is going to use that. Ooh, this one was messy. It's taking me a little bit longer to clean it up. And then just so you see how I do mine, and if you have a better way, I'd love to hear it with this new packaging. So I always put my dies on the back, and then this I just slide into the front so that I can slide it out and keep it out while I'm using it, slide it back in when I'm done. And then this just goes in the closet. I don't use this at all, but I wanted you to see that. All right. Okay, so let's get this back out of the way. So I've got my card base, 8.5 by 5.5, score at 4 1/4. And then this time I'm going to change how I use designer series paper. So first, I forget the name of this one. This is Nature Walk. And when I saw Nature Walk, didn't want it, had no interest. I mean, I love the colors in it. I love the greens, the blues. But I thought, I don't think I'll ever use that. And then someone on my team is on the artisan team. And so they get product before anybody else, and they create with it. And when I saw what she created, I was like, okay, I guess I'm adding that to my list. And so I love it, and I'm going to show you that now. So again, that is called Nature Walk. With it, I am using Greenery Lane, so that is not within the same suite. The Nature Walk does have that pretty stamp that's like the square with the leaf. Everybody's using it right now. I chose not to get it. I see everybody's stuff and think, oh, why didn't I get that? But I did get Greenery Lane, and so this is the stamps and the dies. And then, like I said, there's a coordinating washi tape with it. So I'm going to show you how I did this. So first, I did pull out 2 pieces from Nature Walk, okay? I'm going to use those. And then I'm going to use the washi tape as my other strip. So I just want to show you how I do that. And I'm not going to remember how long I made this. But basically I looked to see how long my washi tape was, and I made it a little bit wider. And then I opened it to see where does it kind of end. So that gave me a 5 by 3.5. And I'm just doing it so I don't waste any. If you've never used washi tape, it is a tape, but it's not very sticky. Think of it as like a sticky note, maybe a little bit tackier than that. So you can reposition and it's okay. All right, so I'm just gonna do my best to lay this down straight. And again, it's not going to matter if it's not perfect. And so do you see how it's sticking up at the top and onto my mat? Now watch, I'm probably gonna prove myself wrong here. But it does. Let me roll this back up. Oh, brother. See, it really does just peel right back up. All right, come on. There we go. I just want to get it straight. Okay, do not do it the way I did it, because this is not going very well right now. And now I am tearing paper. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just rub this down, and then I'm going to cut this excess off. All right, and now I do have like little bubbles, but look, I'm using my fingernail. Use a ruler. It's so forgiving. All right, and then from here, I went ahead and cut my 1 1/4 by 4 inch. Okay, so I'm just gonna go 1 1/4. I'm actually gonna go a little bit bigger so I can cut off the tape ends. And I'm gonna go 4 inches, but I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit that doesn't have the tape on it, so I'm just gonna cut that off, and then I'll go to 4 inches. And same thing, this was my raw edge, so I'm just gonna cut a sliver off of that. And so now I have designer series paper. But it's just such a soft look, and you can back it to any paper. Okay, so it kind of looks like that. Then when you have, what you have is left is this, all these die cuts, and this one I have not mounted yet onto magnetic. So it's gonna be all sticky. These coordinate. So like this piece goes here. This piece, I don't have one of those on here. This piece goes onto this, but all of these die cut out. And so I'm just gonna show you my last one that I had. So same thing. I rolled it out, and then I cut my 1 1/4 piece. And then I die cut all the other pieces out. So you've got all these fun pieces then to play with. Okay. All right, then I use Lost Lagoon because that is such a pretty paper. So just like that. And then let's see, and now I have all of these just to kind of build however I want. Kind of like that softer one. So you felt like a florist before. Well, this is going to give you that same feeling. So you can just keep building that up however you want. I am going to pick a sentiment. So I've got wishing you well, here for you, love and always, thank you. I'm wondering if the here for you, maybe we'll do wishing you well. I think that'll fit there. Let's see, this is looking pretty big. Oh, I love big, long stamps. That did not sound good. All right, I am going to do that. I wonder if I should center it. And then maybe just do a couple on that side. Yep, let's change it up a little bit. All right, and this time I will stamp first. I am going to go with Lost Lagoon. I'm wondering with because this gives it almost the vellum look, I'm going to try stamping off. So we'll see how that looks. So let me pull out this. So whenever something would be too dark, which I don't know, I think that's going to look good. You can stamp it once and then stamp it again. That's going to be too light. I'm going to go with the dark. Okay, let me just hide that back under here. Okay, and I said I was going to center this along the bottom. All right. Let's see how all this looks on here. I think that is going to look nice. Okay, so again, I'll do the outside pieces first. Ooh, look how pretty that is. Ooh. I might be changing it up completely here. I think I like it that way the best. All right. Now I'll have to check my flowers again to see if I still like them on that side with me going with the lighter paper. So again, these strips, 1 1/4 by 4 inches. Then that thin one is just 1/4 inch by 4 1/4. You want it the length of your card. Oop, I almost put that on upside down. All right, I'm gonna do it this time without the mat. And as I'm doing this, all I can think about is those like river rocks, that embellishment that came with the Otterly, and I think I have some of those. Too much green. I feel like maybe I want to cut off some of these stems. I feel like they're battling each other. All right, what do you think of that? Let me check one more thing. We're going to do some designing here on the fly. That might be too big. So I just pulled out a spotlight on nature. Maybe it needs a dark color too. Oh, we're getting closer. That I like. I'm trying to see if I have a smaller circle. I don't think it's going to look good on that traditional labels die. Does everybody have one of these? Just like my junk drawer of die cuts that I haven't used? All right, it does not look like I have a smaller circle. So I am going to stick with that one. All right, so let's pop this up. And then maybe a mini to pop this one up. There we go. I was able to hide those stems. I don't know about you, but it just seemed like there were too many of them right there. All right, and there is the next card. Okay, I feel like this one needs some bling. Probably they all do. You know me. I have a hard time just leaving it plain. So I'm going to use some basic rhinestones. All right. So there are our 4 cards. Okay, so tell me, what do you think of this template? Hopefully you are making your own. And then do you have a favorite? And then as a reminder, I'll be posting a picture either tonight or tomorrow on my Facebook page. I'll have a picture of all 4 of these cards. And then in the comments, I would love for you to put your card. It's so much more fun when you guys participate because then we all get to see everybody's different creations. And then one more reminder, I've got 2 classes going on right now, the Brush with Beauty and the Endless Love, which uses this paper, and I showed that to you earlier. Those are in the comments. I will be live next week on Wednesday, and I'll be doing that class. So I will be demonstrating. We're making 5 cards and a gift bag. So if you want to create along with us, go ahead and grab that kit. All right, Linda says, love all 4. Linda, that's an easy way out. I'm just giving you a hard time. Yeah, you're right. I can't pick. I think maybe this one, but this is really the only suite I haven't played with at all yet, or the only bundle. So that could be why I'm drawn to that one. I tend to like new shiny things. All right, well, I hope all of you have a great night. I will be live on Saturday demonstrating something at 9 a.m. Eastern time. I don't know if I've picked what I'm doing for that or not. And then otherwise, I will be back next week on Wednesday. I'm always live at Wednesdays at 5:30. And again, I'll be making that Endless Love class. So I will see you then. Have a great evening.